What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan is celebrating its Soldiers on Armed Forces Day. President Lai Ching-te went to honor the country's defenders in his latest effort to unite Taiwanese since taking office. Tiffany Wong reports.
September 3rd is Armed Forces Day in Taiwan, and President Lai Ching-te and Vice President Bi Khim-hsiao have come to the Martyr Shrine in Taipei to honor those who have served the country. The day also marks Victory over Japan Day and the end of World War II in 1945. It's a day full of contradictions in Taiwan. The island was a colony of Japan during the war, and many Taiwanese fought in the Japanese army. But the Republic of China government was one of the major powers in the Allied victory in the Pacific, and it's that government that Lai leads today. Now, this is Lai's first time presiding over the memorial as president, and for him, it's a chance to show that he's a leader for the whole country. His Democratic Progressive Party is often seen as downplaying Taiwan's links to China, but an event like this is a reminder of the importance of that history even today. It's also in keeping with a theme in Lai's recent speeches, honoring those who have sacrificed themselves to keep Taiwan free, promoting peace through strength, and trying to unite the country at this moment. Andy She and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's main opposition party is slamming President Lai Ching-te's picks to replace 7 retiring justices, calling it the worst list of nominees ever.
看看这个名单，这个又绿又毒。
Citing neutrality concerns, the KMT is demanding a new list of nominees. The presidential office says the 7 nominees are highly qualified with extensive legal backgrounds and have progressive views on democracy and human rights. The nominees must be confirmed by the legislature, where the opposition KMT and TPP together hold a majority. Ruling party lawmakers say they are willing to discuss and collaborate on the issue.
民生优先的前提之下，不论跟白跟蓝，我们都愿意合作。
Industry execs in Taiwan and Vietnam are putting their heads together to find the best way to turn traditional factories into smart ones. Vietnam is aiming to digitally transform its industries, but not all companies have the foundation to even start. Joe Sen looks at one Taiwanese factory in Vietnam helping to lead the way.
By scanning a QR code, Deputy Production Manager Kim Thuy logs how many screws have been made in the factory line. She works at Anchor Fasteners, a Taiwan-owned company in southern Vietnam. Every day, they make tens of thousands of screws of varying shapes and sizes for top-tier motorbikes from auto giants Honda and Yamaha. On this computer, Kim can track each piece at different stages of production on a centralized online system, a process that used to involve filling out stacks of paper spreadsheets.
Dạ cũng không ạ, nó đơn giản hơn là mình học ở đóng tay như bình thường.
This is all part of the factory's effort to go digital. Getting production lines online is a way to stay competitive in Vietnam, a nation working to rebrand itself from a cost-effective manufacturing hub to one capable of high-tech projects. Social scientist Chen Ti-mong Thuyen has watched her country evolve and says digital transformation is crucial if Vietnam wants to become a developed economy.
We already have some significant results, especially in the e-commerce, digital banking, and online tourism. The middle income also increasing dramatically in Ho Chi Minh City. So we can see that the more and more the high-end services, and it's never happened before.
Vietnam is looking to pull off an industrial revolution using the world's latest smart factory technology and artificial intelligence. To help with the modernization of the fastener factory, its general director, Shi Bo-chang, turned to mechanical engineer Kenneth Chen. Chen, who formed the A1 Smart Factory Alliance, custom makes roadmaps for firms intending to go digital.
Most of the factories or companies, they are not ready for the so-called digital transformation. They don't even have the basic foundation yet. In Vietnam, you have more opportunities because people have no burden, no background, so they are used to accept a new technology.
Chen says the key is to start small and do it in stages, like computerizing data from different parts of the factory and gathering them in a way machines can process and in the future act on. This frees up employees from simpler, repetitive tasks and lays the foundation for more ambitious upgrades.
One example of how this factory can up its digital journey is with those cameras up there. Right now, they're part of a surveillance network to monitor the shop floor. But these cameras could have another purpose in the future by integrating AI. What that would look like is that an AI-trained camera can see a gesture or motion like this and automatically signal to machines to change a control.
Ultimately, for factory head Shi, upgrades must make sense for the business and be practical for employees.
你所有的改善都必须员工养成习惯，员工如果没有养成习惯，你再大的改善，你也是回到原点啊。
Execs like Shi and Chen are working with other tech advocates across different sectors, from software developers to professors, training the next generation of engineers. The goal? To find the right high-tech tools to up each firm's ability to contribute to Vietnam's increasingly rapid growth. Ethan Chen, Allison Nguyen, and Joyce Zen in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam for TaiwanPlus.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow as TaiwanPlus speaks to budding Vietnamese engineers to learn about their tech aspirations for their country. While Taiwanese screw manufacturers abroad are thriving, here in Taiwan, many are struggling to survive. Cheap foreign competition and factors like war have caused demand to crater. John Van Trieste has this story.
When this factory stops production at the end of the year, it will join a dozen neighbors in the southern city of Kaohsiung that have already gone under. Taiwan's days as a hardware empire, a kingdom of screws as some people once called it, are long over. This factory was already on life support, with just one machine running for a single day each month as losses mount. From 2022 to 2023, screw exports dropped over 20%, and that trend looks set to continue. Cheap, large-scale competition from China and Vietnam had already put huge pressure on these factories, and a slowdown in car production due to wars overseas was an additional blow.
乌俄战争开始造成那个汽车楼事业慢慢的萎缩，因为那时候也刚好碰到那个缺晶片。
Global economic trends have added to the pain.
欧洲可以说是消失了，前1-2年的确他们通膨很严重。
None of these factors alone has been a death blow. Despite low demand, Taiwan still produced over 1 million tons of screws last year. But the end may be looming. Automakers are key customers, and they're changing the way they make cars.
就像现在的汽车一样，电动车没有什么公司可以选了，都是用扣电这样的。
There is a sliver of hope. So-called non-standard screws made to order are a rare bright spot. But factories are still shutting down. To stay afloat, economists suggest investing in digital and green technologies. But that takes money screw makers don't have. Their fight to save Made in Taiwan is going to be a tough one. Kama Xu and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
In India, violent clashes continue as protesters demand justice for a trainee doctor who was raped and murdered in a Kolkata government-run hospital. Police once again used tear gas and water cannons to try and control crowds. Students and members of India's ruling BJP were among the demonstrators. The doctor's violent death happened in West Bengal, an area controlled by an opposition state government, and has triggered political uproar. The protests, now spanning more than 2 weeks, are turning into the longest movement of its kind in recent memory. In China, a school bus has hit and killed several middle school students. The bus drove into a group of students gathering outside a school in the eastern Shandong province. Local authorities say over 10 people are dead and a dozen injured. The cause of the crash is still not clear. Pope Francis has touched down in Indonesia, the first stop in the longest trip of his pontificate. During a 12-day tour, the leader of the Catholic Church will also visit Papua New Guinea, East Timor, and Singapore as he attempts to improve ties in the Asia-Pacific. Rosie Grininger reports.
Pope Francis lands in Indonesia for the first leg of the longest and farthest trip of his pontificate, a 12-day Asia-Pacific tour. His first stop, the world's most populous Muslim nation, Indonesia. With more than 275 million people. In the capital, Jakarta, police are finalising security preparations. Here, the 87-year-old leader of the Catholic Church is expected to promote interfaith ties and build religious tolerance.
Indonesia itu punya peran yang signifikan, saya mengatakan demikian di mata dunia dan juga di mata Vatikan itu ya. Dari banyak hal. Indonesia tadi saya sudah katakan bahwa negara dengan populasi mayoritas muslim terbesar di dunia, salah satu yang terbesar. Tapi lepas dari sedikit gesekan-gesekan kecil yang ada di masyarakat akar rumput, secara khusus kan Indonesia rukun, aman, dan damai gitu. Secara umum, in general.
There are 8 million Catholics in Indonesia, but they represent only 3% of the population. During his 4-day visit here, Pope Francis will celebrate Mass for an expected crowd of 80,000 people, meet the country's outgoing president, Joko Widodo, and visit the country's largest place of worship, the Istiqlal Mosque, where he's expected to tour an underground tunnel of friendship that links the mosque to the country's Catholic cathedral. The tunnel was built in 2020 as a symbol of religious harmony.
Kita memang akan memanfaatkan kehadiran Paus itu sekaligus untuk membicarakan titik temu antara umat beragama ya. Karena kita sangat berharap ya bahwa penekanan aspek titik temu antara satu agama dengan agama lain, satu keyakinan dengan keyakinan yang lain, satu etnik dengan etnik yang lain.
The papal visit reflects the importance of this region to the Church. It's one of the places Catholicism is growing significantly. The Asia-Pacific visit was planned to take place 4 years ago, but was rescheduled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Pope Francis's presence here is widely welcomed by the public.
Kalau saya terus terang ya, saya memang lain agama, lain percayaan, tapi saya suka aja. Artinya ini kebersamaan menyatu ya, artinya saling menghormati, itu yang saya suka. Saya oke-oke aja datang ke Indonesia, saya suka.
Menurut saya itu sangat penting sekali karena memang umat beragama kita di Indonesia kan beragam. Jadi dengan adanya Paus datang ke Indonesia ini untuk mencerminkan bahwa kita bangsa Indonesia ini mencintai seluruh dan meyakini kepercayaan kita masing-masing.
The Pope's next stop will be Papua New Guinea, where he'll meet with missionaries to discuss climate change. Before going to East Timor, where Pope John Paul II offered a liturgy in 1989. And finally, Pope Francis will head to Singapore, where he'll focus on improving ties with China. A major tour boasting over 40 events, as the leader of the Catholic Church works to reach the faithful and strengthen ties in the Asia-Pacific. Dolphine Chen and Rosie Grininger for TaiwanPlus.
It's been a sweltering summer in Asia with deadly weather conditions and extremely hot temperatures. There were deadly flash floods in South Asia, killing hundreds while displacing thousands more in India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. Experts say these extreme weather patterns of prolonged heat followed by deadly flash flooding are accelerating. Meanwhile, Japan saw a summer almost 2 degrees Celsius hotter than average. Its weather agency says it tied last year for the hottest summer on record, with temperatures topping out at 41 degrees Celsius. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, we take you to a special event at Shanghai Museum featuring Egyptian antiquities and some feline friends. I'm Yvonne. Take care, and I'll see you next time.